Hi everyone, Claudia here from Lighting Clarity. I have your channel messages for the week beginning Monday the 13th of January. Please be with me while I connect for you all. Thank you. I have King Solomon coming in for you all straight away. Just bear with me as I make this connection stronger. So Solomon says some of you are walking quite slowly through some issues that you've had or that you're having. He says there has been much for you to trek through, as there has been some confusion at your feet and at your legs, is what he makes me feel. He shows me like vines, that you're stepping over vines, pushing through vines. There's been a few of you that have been in that persuasion and not as dramatical as that. However, you have been moving through some issues at present. So he's just acknowledging those of you moving through that. So Solomon says there has been a reshuffle on your groups, which we've been speaking about. He says a lot of you are now starting to become used to the new guides that have come on your team. You're starting to become used to the way in which they communicate with you, because these new guides that have come in to get the ball rolling for 2025. He says there was a changeover around November of last year, October, November of last year, leading into December. There was a change on your teams, and he says that change is now complete for most of you, and you're beginning to become aware of this shift. You don't know what this shift is, but there has been a shift around you. And he says these teams that have come in to help you get the ball rolling, as we just said, in 2025. So Solomon says easy does it as you walk forwards. He says a lot of you want to resolve something right now, and he says we understand whatever this is to do with, it's taking a bit of time for some of you to resolve this. He says it will come to completion in the months ahead, he says, but we ask that you maintain your patience. He says there is a little bit still to be worked through in terms of this life lesson. So Solomon's making me feel that in these early weeks to come, or in these early months to come, some of you who work, your bosses are going to come up and ask something of you. So there is something that's going to be put to you, asked of you, and it's something that feels it's an opportunity for you to shine. And they're the words that Solomon gives. And it's something that you can choose to do or not, but it's an opportunity for you to shine. So he says someone around you, your feeling hasn't been completely honest. You're smelling a rat with someone or something. He says, I want you to follow your intuition. Someone around you hasn't been completely honest. And what this is will come to light in the coming time. Some of you will work it out in the time that you're in. Some of you will work it out later when you look around behind you and you realize what occurred and actually who that person was that wasn't completely honest in their interactions with you. There was something they were meant to do or something that was said that they weren't completely honest about. So he's asking you to trust your intuitions with this. He says, I want each of you to not take everything and everyone to heart. He says some of you have taken some things very seriously. We ask you to be a lot lighter in your energy, a lot lighter in in what it is that you're feeling at the moment. He says there's no need to carry that heavy burden in your hands. Some of you are carrying it in your hands and some of you are carrying it on your shoulders. He says we want you to come from more of a lighter perspective with what has gone on or what is happening. He says know that nothing lasts, it will pass. It is an important step, he says, in the journey that you're in, this life lesson that some of you have been in for a while will start to move on as you move into 2025. He makes me feel come April, everyone's in a new energy. Everyone's in a new energy and you're actually being asked, there's something that's been asked of you come April, and some of you have taken this up and some of you are contemplating it, but you're definitely all stepping into this new arena. He says by April you will feel it, you will see it, and you will know it, he says. Now in closing, so Solomon's making me feel that he is stepping forward to help a lot of you between now and June. There needs to be some deconstructing to do with certain areas of your lives, and there needs to be a new reconstruction to do with those areas. He says he's assisting you with doing this both. He says that there is encouragement coming from him and your holding team. So he's also showing you Raphael coming in to assist with this. Raphael is often known as the healing angel. So Raphael also, he says, assists with self-esteem, which I didn't realize. He probably does. He also assists with self-esteem, he says, and we're giving you the courage you need to look at what isn't working and start to build what needs to come in, start to build what does work for you, and having that courage to go out on a limb. And he says you will have that courage this year to go out on a limb and do some things you weren't going to do before, that you never would have done before. You've decided, I'm going to have a change of life. I'm going to change careers, or I'm going to take up this hobby, or I'm going to open up a side business, or I'm going to go traveling. There's different things for each of you. He says decision will be made this year that's going to be a big change factor for you. And that's something that they've been saying for a number of weeks to do with 2025. So he says something to do with finances for some of you. There is some government support coming in. He talks about that for those of you needing it. There is government support coming in. There's also some form of a grant coming in. For some of you, this could be to do with business or to do with some sort of sponsorship, to do with something. There is that coming in as well, he says. So he makes me feel that there is more abundance coming in for those of you who run your own businesses. There is more abundance, and you're going to see that abundance in the second half of the year really start to come in. Some of you financially have been holding your breath and holding yourselves like this. He says that wording it, come on, say it again. King Solomon. Okay. So that gate that you've been standing behind and going like that gate's going to open. And he makes me feel that there's going to be an upliftment and a surge of money coming that's going to ride you on a higher wave than what you've been on financially. So you'll be able to pay for things in a lot better than what you have. So this is for those of you who've been quite strapped. He's bringing that message in. That's what he's making me feel. For those of you who've been quite strapped of money, there will be that change, that assistance. I'm also seeing some extra jobs coming in for those people, or new jobs coming in where you're going to be assisted in a bigger way, and you'll have a much bigger pay packet that's going to help pay for things a lot more easily. So he's just bringing that through. So final word, he says, get ready for this year. Get set, get ready. It's full of high waves, good waves, and there are some life lessons through this year you're going to learn. They'll be very valuable, he says, in the time to come. But he says it is a good year. Strap yourselves in, get ready. You've all got this, he says. How lovely. I'm going to thank him for coming in. He's very direct, Solomon. He's lovely. All right. Well, many blessings. I'll see you all again soon. Thanks, everybody.